So here, everybody listening right now on air, KSunRadio.com, we have an original founding member of one of the great doom metal bands, a guitar player that can rip your face off with amazing solos, Dave Chandler. Dave, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Here, are you ready to talk all things hard rock and heavy metal?
Am I ready to talk about what?
All things hard rock and heavy metal?
Apparently so.
Apparently so. Now, Dave, the new album, Lily F65, critical. A lot of people have been raving about it. I, too, made a YouTube video, positive reception. How have you liked the new album, especially last year? What was your thoughts on how when it came out and people's opinions and the feedback you've been getting from it?
Well, we're proud of it because we wanted it to sound enough like the old style so the old fans would like it, but have enough modern qualities for the kids to like it. And the response has been very well on the road. So we're really, really happy with it. You know, the only negative thing that we've heard is that it's too short, but if you take its time against every Vitus album except for, I think, two, it's the same length. So, you know.
And the song quality.
Overall, we think it's really, we're very happy with it.
Well, yeah, the song quality to me is great. And I brought up, even though a lot of people I've heard that a bit being short, you guys still made every song is, it's consideration. There's no fillers on this album, I'm telling people. And is that something you guys have always worked at when making your songs? There's enough consideration for detail. One song's not just on the album just so you could have, fill in some time, right?
Right, yeah, everything was, actually Lily, when I was writing it, became a concept. And so I was like, oh, and I needed, like people had thought that the instrumental Vertigo was just a filler. And I was, with the concept that it became into, I was like, no, I need a transition when she thinks everything is okay, but it's not. And I go, why no? Do a thing like When Emotion Dies. And that's how that came about. It's not a filler. It leads you into a false sense of security to the paralyzing end.
That is awesome. Oh my, dude, that's sick. Because I really like that song, and I noticed the parallel to When Emotion Dies while I'm doing the acoustic. My only problem is, Dave, why don't you sing on it? Emotion Dies. Your vocals were great.
I said, no, dude, because I want to make it different, like kind of like a Laguna Sunrise.
Oh, okay, I understand you.
Now,
but
that's like a transition on that album, sort of,
Yeah. When Emotion Dies, though, if people have not heard that song from V, it's awesome. How do you like singing, or is that something you just kind of want to do once?
That was completely, absolutely, but stupid. If you ever want to call anything a filler, it was that one. Because we actually needed some time, and Wino had these cool riffs, and we didn't have time to make it into a full song, which we wanted to do, with him singing and him teaching me how to do it. And I go, well, you know what? Let's make it like one of these songs on the old Sabbath albums or on the old Alice Cooper albums or whatever that people skip over.
And
a friend of ours could sing different voices. He goes, I can do sweet female voices. And we're like, okay, well, I'll write some goofy words and I'll just talk, which is what I did. And we treated it as a joke. We thought it was a joke. And then
I actually like it. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think it just stood out from that album. Maybe I like that. You guys have always stood out.
Yeah, when I listen to the record, that's probably my favorite song on it.
That's to me that your music has always stood out. And I wanted to draw some parallels because right now you guys have out Marvels in the Mosh Pit, an LP, and this is another thing that I like, that the vinyls are coming back. I'm a younger generation fan, and I'm starting to collect vinyl, so this is really cool. And this goes back to the Riegers era and gives fans, like myself, younger fans, a taste of what you guys were doing back before Wino joined the band, and kind of talk about that album, that show in Ontario, Canada, with Riegers.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. We discovered the video from it on YouTube, and I was like, holy shit, that's from the very, very first tour that we ever went on. We were supporting Black Flag for My War, and that was in 1984. And we had done like a bunch of shows with them beforehand, but that was the only actual time we had ever traveled farther than, outside of Southern California than Northern California or Arizona or something,
Yeah.
So, and that was on the way back, and it was a special thing because, we happened to go into Canada when they were having their worst winter in history. So it was a super pain in the ass. And it was funny because we saw the shit on YouTube, and I recognized it immediately because me and Scotty were wearing the bar shirts, and Rollins is up front. And I was like, this is at that weird place. It was a hotel. And while we were doing sound check, and while, Black Flag Us and everyone was doing sound check, people were still in the dining room eating. And it was so loud, it was vibrating all the utensils off the tables and their glasses, drinks were spilling. And they're all complaining because it's like stodgy, Ontario old folks. It was a totally old folks hotel. We're like, this is the weirdest thing. And of all places for something to come out of was that. And so we contacted the dude who did it, and he thought we were going to be mad. And we're like, no, actually, we want to work it out with you so we can release this and, flow some money to you and da-da-da. So that's how it came about. And I called it Marbles in the Mosh Pit because I always thought that was funny because, we were the anti-everything band. It's like, we had the slam pit, that was good, but then you do the mosh pit, you're running in a circle, you're too organized. Throw some marbles in, make it look right.
That's sick. And speaking of the concert venues, looking at the Saint Vitus, the early days, you guys, a lot of bands nowadays I think are spoiled in a way. They get these nice venues. You guys were playing, like you said, at dining halls, pretty much the punk scene, anywhere you could play. And nowadays you're playing in front of crowds in Europe, hundreds of thousands of people. We're back that you had to really work at it to, deserve that status. What do you see that nowadays with, the bigger festivals compared to back then, the hard-working, pretty much playing at like an arcade?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you did when you were starting out, or that's what I think everybody should do.
Yes.
The people that get their career handed to them on a silver platter just because they look right and hop around right, I think is ridiculous. But that's my own opinion. But I'm really happy for us, and we're really thankful that people remembered us, and we did work for where we are. We lived in a van and did fucking, what was it, like 63 shows out of 65 days supporting the Mentors with nobody helping us, just us and them in the summer, and
That's
we
just
did stuff like that. So
unbelievable.
I kind of think we deserve what we're getting here, but we still play the tiny little shows. We just got off an American tour, and we played in Hampton, West Virginia, in a little tiny pool hall.
Really?
We're not going to not play there. If they want to, if people are going to come and they want to pay us, then we'll go ahead and play. The one thing that we do say is we really don't want to play for free anymore, but I don't think that's too much to ask.
That's true. That you can't ask for too much there, but it's that's funny as hell. But any which way, so let's move on here to I'm a guitar player. And I'm kind of starting up, and I wanted to know a little bit more about your guitar playing because I feel like not as many people ask about what influenced you to have that style, the distinctive solos. Who are you listening to back then? Because to me, you stand out amongst anybody. You can put an Eddie Van Halen, you could ask Eddie Van Halen to try to play your solos. He can't. You just have this ability that to me is unbelievable, unmatchable in a way. How did that come about?
Having no technical skills, basically.
I have that same problem right now.
Actually, okay, because, when I first wanted to be in a rock band, the Monkees TV show made me want to be in a band, and then Alice Cooper Group made me want to be in like a hard rock or metal, whatever band. And I took lessons when I first started
on stage
because I wanted to learn how to read music and how to play the notes and stuff, and I could never figure out how to play those full chords where you use all your fingers. And so I just decided that rather than try and do something that's just frustrating, I'm going to do something that's easy. So I just started playing the way that I liked, and I learned songs by bands that I liked. And then when it came to the leads, I could never duplicate Tony Iommi or Buck Dharma or anybody else. So I just started doing, okay, well, here's what I want to do there, just for myself. And it just became this weird thing, and I just started playing super loud and using a lot of noise and a lot of effects to basically cover up, because I'm not a technical dude. I'm not a Louis Roth or an Yngwie Malmsteen,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A lot of people have told me that what they like about me is that I play all the right wrong notes.
No, that's what, again, I really like.
And I'm like, good, you know, and I got influenced a lot in the punk rock scene, you know, like Greg Ginn
Yeah.
and
East Bay Ray?
East Bay Ray from the Dead Kennedys, even though he plays the correct notes. He just goes off for no reason.
That's, again,
I don't
style.
expect the lead to be there. Oh, good. And so that's what I try to do, you know.
Well, and the album that really stood out to me, what I'm listening to a lot lately, is the Saint Vitus Live at the Circle Gamelsdorf in November 10th, 1989, Germany. I bought this over last winter break, been listening to it. What can you remember about that? And is that kind of special as you're going back to Europe very much in the spring here to do a tour? And do you have a connection to Germany in a way because of this album? Special connection there?
Mainly because when we first went to Europe in 1989, I believe it was March, we were still on SST, and the booking agency, I should say, that took us over there had a small, you know, upcoming little bitty label, and they were like, you know, are you hooked up with them? We're like, well, we go album by album. Oh, would you like to do an album with us? We're like, no. But once it became apparent that things were different than we thought, we decided to sign with them. And they were based out of Berlin. And that's the V album all the way through Die Healing.
And that's a Hellhound, right?
So, yeah, Hellhound. So that basically became our niche, our home port. We didn't even do any shows in America. After March of 1989, we didn't do any shows in America until probably the reunion in 2003.
Wow.
No, actually, no, I'm sorry about that. We did a short tour with Chris in 93, and that was it. And we just stayed there. So a lot of people that were turned on to us from that thought we were a German band.
Really?
So that's where we get the German niche from. So when we go to Europe, yeah, it's like we go to Berlin. Like our first two shows on this tour are Cologne and Berlin, so that's like going back home to us, you know.
Okay, and you'll be doing a bunch of shows in Europe too, not just Berlin. You'll be going all over.
I mean, yeah, it's like a month worth with no days off, but you know, whatever, that's okay. And there's some places we've never played before. We're going into like Luxembourg and Wales and Scotland. We've never ever been there ever, so that's going to be fun.
That's it. And you're going to be playing two shows. I need to bring this up. March 1st and 2nd, Texas, right? You'll be playing a couple before you do this European tour.
Yeah, Fort Worth and Dallas, yeah.
Now, Dave, I want to bring. This is a question as a fan here. Will you be doing any future shows, or will you be doing any work after the European tour? What does the future for Vitus look for all his fans right now?
Well, we don't. I mean, we just kind of at this point, since we don't have to book things ourselves anymore, thank God.
Yeah,
we just kind of are going with. We're booking with Tone Deaf in America. So there's like some speculation that something might happen in June. Like maybe what we're trying to do is maybe support somebody because, you know, Lily's been out for almost a year.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a couple songs rambling around, but, you know, we're trying to get some new markets because of, we're back or whatever. We're trying to like expand and get some new markets. We don't want to come back right away to America without anything to give anybody, you know.
Yeah,
but
we're thinking,
but if we could support somebody, then we can, you know, obviously you have to do a shorter set, so we can incorporate some older songs we didn't do, and that would be fun. So we're working on that, but nothing is for sure at all. All we know is that when we finish this deal, we're going to be back about, I think the first week of April. And then there's actually nothing concrete after that, but there's a lot of stuff in the what we call down here the gumbo pot.
Interesting.
So there's a whole bunch of weird little different things bubbling around. We have a bunch of offers, but you know we're trying to work it out so we can do a constant thing. You know,
and keep the fans happy, and you're energetic and excited about the stuff to come.
The record Lily just got released a couple months ago in Argentina, so we're hoping that might open up something down there, and you know, so we're just seeing because we're trying to get into markets we've never been in before.
You know, and I got to bring this up to everyone listening right now. Dave Chandler here. You've been doing this since 1978. Vitus has been going. To me, it's unbelievable that you don't get a lot of. You know, the mainstream metal community, of course, is very fickle sometimes. They pick and choose the bands. But you've been working hard since 1978, and I gotta right now say congratulations on all the hard work. And as a young fan, I'm glad I got into Saint Vitus because the music always, in college and late in high school when I was listening to stuff, it connected to me. And I'm really glad that you're still going. And it gives a young fan like myself the opportunity to see you, experience it. But also for even the older fans, it's just a testament to the doom metal legacy, which sadly is ignored a lot,
Yeah. Well, apparently, when we broke up in '95, between then and when we decided to do the one-off show in 2003, doom metal had become a legitimate form, which we're really happy with, obviously. But so I think that's that just made those people listen. And we run across people at shows that bring their kids. And they're like, and this guy, they'll say like, hey, here's a picture of me 20 years ago when I was 20, partying with you. Here's my kid who grew up listening to Born Too Late every day of her life. And they're like, oh, poor kid. But it's very flattering to know that people actually really remembered us. Because when we stopped in '95, I remember looking at Mark and go, well, this is a big fucking turd in the wind. He's like, yeah, no shit. Because we figured no one would care, no one ever remember. And then, I did a show with my weird band Debris Incorporated in
the guy from Trouble, right?
In 2002.
Yeah.
We did Born Too Late as the encore, and there was like a few people watching. As soon as we did 2 notes of that, it filled up, and people were singing those lyrics. I was like, what happened? Why do they like us now? I mean, they always liked us in Europe, but you know what I mean? It's like, how did this happen?
Yeah. And again, there's this saying Lemmy once said, if it's not broken, don't fix it, keep going. And Saint Vitus, you've never changed. You've been true to yourselves. And the stuff that comes out in the future, I can't wait for. And hopefully I have a chance to see you guys again here on another tour. Dave, man, thanks for calling in. Best of luck, man. Dude.
All right, man.
Stay doomed, dude.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, so we'll play... Later, dude. We'll play a couple of Saint Vitus from that live recording Dave and I were talking about. Killer tunes. Let's see here.
Right on. All right.
Oh, yeah, later, dude.
All right, later.
And so we'll play a live song here. I want to get that live feel of Saint Vitus on the Hard Rock and Heavy Metal Zone going. And let's... Which one? Hey, Dave.
Play When Emotion Dies, too, just to fuck everyone up.
I will, actually, Dave. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to play White Stallions and then Emotion Dies so everyone can get pumped up and then be like, what? But hey.
Yeah.
Awesome. But see you later, dude. We'll talk to you later,
man. All right, later.
So here's White Stallions.
Yeah.
Got one more to do.